Got the blueprint, study my movement. More than the 2 cents. Was losing, now I'm oozing with success. Now I got the tools to beat the stress.
What up, though? This your boy MagMongoSlade. Today we're going to be talking about Smackdown from December 15th, 2023. And I thought there was not going to be any news and notes. And then they dropped this WWE speed garbage on us. And then Liv Morgan went and got herself arrested. And on the broadcast, it was dropped that Charlotte is going to be out for 9 months. So that is going to be our news and notes before we get into the Smackdown review. So first, of course, let's get into WWE Speed, which was something that was recorded prior to Smackdown. It got a lot of people's minds running. They were saying, is this going to be a dark match only thing? Is it a new TV show? I was even thinking maybe it was going to be sort of opening to a television title of sorts, because TV titles typically have time limits. And from the little video that you could see about this WWE Speed thing, you could see that there was a time limit involved. So I was like, okay, well, the old WCW, I think the time limit was 15 to 20 minutes. And NWA currently is 6 minutes. So I figured maybe WWE is going to do like a 5-minute thing. And then the Dirt Sheets did what they do, and they have a response to what this WWE Speed thing is, or they have a good estimation. So let's go over to F4W Online. What this is Meltzer and them. So it says WWE Speed matches have 5-minute time limits. The winner of the match receives 1 point. The loser of the bout is docked 1 point, and if the bout goes to a time limit draw, no points are awarded or deducted. A 5-minute countdown clock appears on the video during the contest. The Speed concept appears to be a TV show pilot, or perhaps for a digital media property, as commentators Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick were calling the matches as if the show was being produced for broadcast. A WWE Speed logo was displayed on the video as well as a ring apron and ring post during the taping. Okay, so assuming that this is true, because, the Dirt Sheets ain't always right. If WWE Speed is a new show, where basically they're just doing short matches for like TikTok or something like that. I don't know. 5 minutes, is that too long for TikTok? I don't know. I still don't like it. Look, as soon as they said points, I was out. As soon as you start talking about points, I'm done. You don't add points to wrestling. Okay, there's just no benefit to it. Wrestling is a work. There's just no way you can add points and make it matter. The matches, 5 minutes. How about you? Again, storyline purpose would be fine, which is what, or if it was a style, because it seemed to me like the guys who were involved in the video I saw was like Axiom and Cedric Alexander, which seems like it's going to be like another cruiserweight division. Other people thought it was going to be like a renamed WWE Velocity or something to that effect. And now I hear this goofy, almost game show like thing where, we're going to deduct 1 point if you lose. It's like, oh my God, ugh, get this garbage out of here. I haven't even seen it and I already don't like it. But that's just assuming, of course, that it operates the way that the Dirt Sheets said that it does. I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of points, a point system. I don't see the benefit of a point system in pro wrestling. It just sounds goofy. Just real goofy. And plus, when you're doing it with undercard guys, you can almost guarantee that it's not going to be any good. I mean, you could just look at it and say, hey, who are you doing this with? We're doing it with our very bottom level guys who are barely on television, guys who are barely on NXT. Oh yeah, that really means it's important. It ain't important at all. Clearly they were shooting for something. And look, I don't care what it is, if we're being honest. It's like I don't watch Main Event. There's plenty of WWE product I don't look at. So if it's a TV show, fine. If it's going to be like a TikTok or Instagram thing, fine. Facebook thing. I didn't watch the Match Challenge, if we're being honest. I watched clips of it. So if it's something like that, fine. I'm not watching it. If you want me to watch some stuff, you got to better have a storyline involved, because you start talking about points and I'm checking out. I'm out of there. So I got nothing for you, fam. I'm not interested in you talking about you get 1 point if you win. Like, nah. Unless somebody's gonna get their head shaved or get their mask ripped off, or you're gonna lose your son in a wrestling match, I really don't care, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I have zero interest in you trying to mix pro wrestling and like soccer or the NBA or something. How many points can you score in 5 minutes? Like, I don't care about that, bro. I really don't care. And that's made it hard for me to watch the deadline matches, because it's, multiple pinfalls and I mean, at least in that you get a significant amount of time, but I still don't really like it. It is what it is. It's just points. So I'm all about the story. If you're not going to do it with story and not do it with characters that matter, there's no real point in for me getting excited or me even being interested or told about it. And besides, it might be a thing that they never mention. It might be a thing that you never see again, or it might be something they just do at house shows and tape before SmackDown because they're trying to shove this somewhere. I have no interest in it either way. I still wouldn't have even liked it, I think, if it was like a TV title, because there's too many belts as it is. So, but that was the first thing that popped into my head, is I thought, okay, they're trying to create a TV title, but nah, they're doing a pilot for a television show. Whatever. All right, let's talk about Liv Morgan. So, apparently, Liv Morgan got herself arrested. Oh boy. So it says, this is from the Village News. A famous woman wrestler was arrested after driving erratically in her Jeep near the Villages. Gianna Daddio, 29, better known by her ring name Liv Morgan, is a former one-time SmackDown Women's Champion, a former two-time Women's Tag Team Champion with Raquel Rodriguez. Daddio was driving a yellow Jeep at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday on a Country Road 476 when a Sumter County Sheriff's deputy noticed the vehicle crossed over the yellow and white lines on the road several times, according to the arrest report. When the deputy approached the Jeep, the odor of marijuana was detected. A small plastic bag containing marijuana was found in a pink fuzzy bag in the vehicle. A vape pen containing an oil-like substance was found in the Jeep's center console. The substance tested positive for marijuana. Daddio was arrested on charges of possession of synthetic cannabinoid, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug equipment. She was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting $3,000 bond. Daddio was born in New Jersey, where she participated in backyard wrestling with her 6 siblings. She was a competitive cheerleader and modeled for the restaurant chain Hooters before turning to professional wrestling. Daddio announced on a podcast earlier this year that she had obtained a real estate brokerage license and is living in Spring Hill. So, possession of synthetic cannabinoid, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug equipment. I guess the drug equipment will be the vape pen. Maybe you guys who are chronic weed smokers figure that out. But I would imagine it's the driving erratically part that would be problematic for me. I don't really care about people having weed anymore. I don't really support people smoking weed, but I don't think you should go to jail for smoking weed. But driving erratically or driving under the influence, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. But she's been having a lot of issues with injuries lately. I think she had 2 injuries within the last year, so she might be having some pain issues. So if she's got, pain problems, if she's, smoking a little of the ganja and maybe doing some other things to avoid, taking hard painkillers, like, imagine if she'd got busted with a bunch of Vicodin. It's been a whole different conversation. If she'd got busted with a ton of opioids, we'd be having a completely different conversation. So it was just weed, likely just enough for personal use. It's not like she was moving weight. This thing has been blown out of proportion. She should probably sell her mugshot like a bunch of other people tend to do. Put her mugshot on a t-shirt. Maybe she should come back as Dominic Mysterio's girlfriend, where she went to jail and now she's out and she's doing dangerous things. I don't know. But to me, this was kind of a goofy story. If you're not going to give her a DUI or a DWI, then why even bother? It's a waste of the cops' time. What a cuck. Stop being a cuck, police. Let these people smoke their weed. Who cares? All right. In more news, Charlotte is apparently out for 9 months. Jesus. She suffered a knee injury. I believe it was last week on Smackdown during her match with Asuka. A lot of people think that the injury came from the moonsault. They show video that she actually probably hyperextended it, or probably tore something falling on the top rope. Looked kind of nasty. 9 months. Well, that's no Rumble. That's no WrestleMania, and possibly no SummerSlam. She's going to be gone for a long time. But wrestlers have quote unquote miraculous healing tendencies, especially when money is involved. So she might be back around May or June or whatever. Now, I don't expect her to be gone the entire 9 months. I would be surprised if she was gone the entire 9 months. So, because of Charlotte's age, she's 40, thereabouts. Either maybe like between 38 and 40. She might want to take her time with this. She doesn't have a lot of time in the ring left. There's no reason to rush it. And there'll be other WrestleManias, other Royal Rumbles. She's is going to be fine. The company's not going to fall apart because they lost Charlotte for 9 months. I will say, though, that it probably does suck for WrestleMania because she was likely to be factored in. That being said, one of the recent stories that I've heard is that she was going to be teaming up with Shotzi. And her and Shotzi had matching gear, and they were going to be a tag team for a short time. And that was the plan. This is, what Shotzi said. And this injury is going to kill those plans. And I can't say that I'm upset about that. Shotzi she can't get a break. I promise you, she cannot get a break. Anytime something remotely looks like a push, she either gets hurt or somebody surpasses her in some way or somebody else gets hurt. How many times has it happened that Shotzi was on the way to getting pushed and then her partner got injured? It's like the third time it's happened. Remember, I think she was supposed to team up with Athena and then Athena got fired or she got injured, one of the two, or they split them up, then put them on two separate brands, and then they had her with Tegan Nox, and then Tegan Nox got injured. Like, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe it's not meant for you to be a tag team champion. In any event, I think most people kind of guessed that Charlotte versus Bianca would be the WrestleMania match this year. And so Bianca is now floundering because she doesn't have an opponent. I'm pretty sure they'll find somebody to fill that slot. If I were them, I wouldn't panic and throw Bianca versus Rhea out there. Which, look, to me, that's a WrestleMania match. Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. But if you're not going to move Bianca to Raw in order to have that match, then I would say maintain whatever course you were doing with Rhea Ripley and just put Bianca Belair in a tag team with somebody else against the Kabuki Warriors. I'm guessing Bianca and Jade Cargill. How about that for a WrestleMania match? I mean, that's fine, I guess. It's not, a spotlight singles match, but it's good, I suppose. And it seems like they're actually going to do something with the Kabuki Warriors because, Triple H loves him some damage control. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Charlotte being out 9 months is awful. We wish her the best of luck here at 3 Count Commentaries. We certainly wish it was Natalya, but it's Charlotte, so that's highly unfortunate. And we will see her when she comes back. And hopefully she comes back better than ever, doing something different and completely revamping who she is. Okie dokie. Now let's move into this show. The show was actually not bad, even though I do question some of the decisions that were made. Roman Reigns starts the show. He's a fair tribal chief, and it's promotion season. And he says when you do good, you got to get recognized for it. You got to let people know. So this person was representing the family, keeping the family at the top. This guy is next in line. He's the tribal heir, Solo Sikoa, who defeated John Cena and is rightfully the tribal heir, if you ask me. The guy beat John Cena clean in the middle of the ring. Yeah, he's the tribal heir. Jimmy Uso got shafted in this whole ordeal. Roman was like, Jimmy, join me. And Jimmy just stood next to him, was flexing, like was getting ready for his promotion. He didn't get promoted. He got stuck right where he is. Jimmy Uso, he's a buffoon. I can't wait to talk about Jimmy Uso a little bit later. He's funny as shit. So, as the Bloodline are doing Bloodline things, Roman Reigns is just talking a lot. And here comes Randy Orton. Randy Orton keeping it simple. You took 18 months from me. I'm taking everything from you. Doesn't matter who I got to go through first. And Roman says, well, you've been thinking about me for 18 months. I ain't thought about you at all. And which was a really good one. He said, the fans think you deserve it, but you've been gone for 18 months. And that means for 18 months, you ain't done nothing. That means you go to the back of the line. It ain't 2007 no more. He said the voices in your head is telling you not to disrespect your tribal chief and telling you to run. You should listen to them. Randy Orton says since he's been gone, Roman Reigns has become a legend, and he is still the legend killer. Then he teased the RKO on Roman Reigns before saying, you might not have been thinking about me before, but you should probably start thinking about me. Solid opening segment. Can't complain too much. Roman is in good, fashion here. Still can really cut good promos. Randy is in vengeful mode. They're building this thing up as legend versus legend killer. The legendary run of Roman Reigns versus the legend killer of Randy Orton. I like this. I like the marketing of it. They're elevating Roman to legend status, which is going to make some people's assholes itch, but who cares, really? Get over it, bruh. So backstage, Roman Reigns is upset that Randy Orton interrupted Solo's big moment. Then Jimmy said that, he could silence Randy Orton whenever he wants to. But this seems more like a job for the tribal heir, which, he was mocking. Then Roman said, look, man, it's promotion season. If you handle this, just imagine all the riches and wealth and material possessions, or even some immaterial possession that you can get. And Jimmy was sitting there thinking to himself, like, yeah, yeet. And of course, Roman just kind of stood at him. And then he did this hilarious cartoon gulp, the hard gulp. Oh, that Jimmy boy, he's something else. He's a silly guy, man. He's silly as shit. He's silly as hell. All right. Randy Orton is backstage. He's hanging out with LA Knight. He told LA Knight he doesn't need him, don't want him around. LA Knight tried to remind him of the bloodline and how they do the numbers thing, but Randy ain't trying to hear it. He just wants LA Knight to stay out of his way. And then so LA Knight was like, look, you may want to fight Roman, but guess who else wants to fight Roman? Yeah. I want to fight Roman Reigns. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're going with this. Because he wants to fight Roman Reigns. Okie dokie. Let's see if it happens for him. Pretty sure it's not going to work out the way that he wanted to. All right, so Jimmy Uso, he's paranoid. He thinks that something is up. He said that Roman is him and Roman doing a lot of talking. They're talking a lot. They're talking a little too much for him. And he says that if something was going on, if he's being set up, is Solo going to tell him about it? And Solo just said, I'm your brother. Which made Jimmy feel better, but it's not really an answer to the question. Not really an answer to the question that Jimmy might be getting set up to be embarrassed, humiliated, skinned alive, or whatever. So the main event of the evening, Jimmy Uso versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton, of course, wins the match with the RKO. LA Knight and Solo Sikoa fight outside the ring, which distracts Jimmy Uso. Roman then attacked LA Knight from behind. He sized up Randy Orton a little bit before jumping in the ring, and they had themselves a fisticuff fight. Randy Orton and Roman throwing punches back and forth at each other. Nobody giving an inch. People barely selling in this situation. Certainly nobody taking a bump. Nobody's going down. Then the Bloodline, of course, jumped Randy Orton. LA Knight tried to help him. He was overwhelmed as well. Until finally the hero was AJ Styles, who comes in to give the phenomenal forearm to Roman Reigns. It's 3-on-3. The fans are super excited about this. AJ Styles is jacked. AJ Styles is like 48. Dude comes out jacked. I'm talking not full metal jacked. Crazy, right? So the crowd is loving this. They like, yeah, man, we love AJ Styles. Then all of a sudden, AJ Styles clotheslines LA Knight. And everybody's like, wait a minute. What's going on here? What's the matter with you? And even I'm saying, what's the matter with you? When AJ Styles was taken out, he was still hanging out with Gallows and Anderson. And it was that Carl Anderson who was basically like the Dax Harwood of the Good Brothers. He was basically telling them, I told you, AJ, you don't mess with the Bloodline. They're very dangerous. They're very dangerous guys, And all of a sudden, he got his shit kicked in. He got his ass all beat on, and he was gone. What they got to do with LA Knight? Why LA Knight getting beat up over this? Or is it that AJ Styles making a statement that he's not on their side? They just have a common enemy. And that works for me too. Lone Wolf AJ Styles was his last gimmick before he left TNA, wasn't it? When he basically turned his back on Aces and Eights, and I think there was an opposing faction that wanted him to join, and he refused to join them too. So he went and got this Volkswagen soccer mom haircut and was like, Tobey Maguire, black suit Spider-Man, where he was just being brooding. It was trying to recreate Sting for AJ Styles, and it worked in terms of his theme song. I love that theme song for that era. That's one of my favorite theme songs of all time. The theme song when AJ Styles went darker in TNA, it was tremendous. Definitely one of my favorite theme songs of all time. If WWE bought the rights to a theme song and then used it for a character, that would be perfect. So they seem like that's the direction they're going in. AJ is going to be a lone wolf doing his own thing, wearing black jeans, being a little bit more beardy and buff. I like it. Where does he fit in a match with Roman? I'm thinking between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. So probably in Australia. Maybe you get Roman versus AJ Styles in Elimination Chamber. AJ's certainly not going to win the Rumble. He's certainly not going to win the title, but he's absolutely a top guy. And also, when you consider WWE has far too many top baby faces, which is like the first time they've had this problem in a long time. On Raw, they had to turn Drew McIntyre because there's just too many baby faces. And now on SmackDown, it seems like there's just too many baby faces, so they ended up turning AJ Styles. And that's fine. AJ Styles hasn't been a heel, and he's still technically not a heel yet. He's not a heel until, he really does some heelish shit. He just basically knocked down LA Knight, who's one of the biggest baby faces in the world, but he might have a good reason. We don't know yet. I think AJ Styles has earned the benefit of the doubt. Going to give young AJ, or also OG AJ, let's say, the benefit of the doubt. All right, let's get into the rest of this show. Ought to be pretty quick. The U.S. title picture was half the show, more than half the show. Grayson Waller was defeated by Carmelo Hayes. They did a vignette for Carmelo Hayes before the match. Logan Paul did an insert interview in which he says, when you shoot, you don't miss. Well, I missed your entire career. And then said that Carmelo Hayes must have won an essay contest to get here because he has no idea who he is. Which doesn't make Carmelo Hayes look good. It really doesn't. Like, I get it. He's from NXT and Logan Paul doesn't watch NXT. But he should at least put him over a little bit. He just kind of made him feel like he was irrelevant, which I guess was the plan. Carmelo Hayes ended up beating Grayson Waller. That sucks for Grayson Waller. Again, who did he piss off that he loses every single match that he's in? Like, why is that? I'm very surprised Carmelo Hayes won. mainly because the entire story that he's been going with on NXT has been he's been losing a lot and he's unfocused, and that he needs to reestablish himself in the spotlight next to Trick Williams. Well, if you're just going to put him in the U.S. title picture, then what's the point of his story in NXT? This is the problem of, doing both. Later in the show, Austin Theory loses to Kevin Owens, and I rolled my eyes, I'll be being honest. Austin Theory started smashing Kevin Owens' hand against the metal steps and the ring post, and all of this hurts. This hurts him so bad, and yet he still managed to throw a punch with, not even a punch, but a forearm shiver with the cast, and ended up winning the match. So Austin Theory and Grayson Waller both lost. Great job. Jesus Christ. I ain't tripping. I really ain't, but come on, man. Backstage, Cameron Grimes, for some reason, was giving Kevin Owens, he was polishing his boots for him. Really good job. I wish I could have punched Austin Theory in the face like that. Could you get your ass? Get out of here, you rat. You opossum eating, roadkill eating some a bit. Anyway, Carmelo Hayes appears, says that he got a ton of respect for Kevin Owens, but he needs this more than Kevin Owens does, and Kevin Owens is not going to punch him in the face. He's not going to little brother. You're not going to little bro me. And Kevin Owens, of course, white man who's too smart for his own good, didn't understand what little bro me means. He means treating you like a little brother, giving you noogies, pushing you around and stuff. He's not going to let that happen. That's what he means. He's him. H-I-M, capital H-I-M, by the way. So next week, Santos Escobar is going to wrestle Lashley. They did a promo segment. They did a video package for Santos Escobar where they put him over, and it was pretty good. Lashley did a promo with the Street Profits. It was fine. It was fine. I don't hate it. I don't see how Santos Escobar can beat Lashley. I'm very interested in how that's going to occur. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to occur. It better not occur. Look, Santos Escobar was a cruiserweight champion. He cannot beat Lashley. Come on, bro. Stop it. So we expect Lashley versus Kevin Owens to be the final, right? All right. So that was basically the gist of the tournament. Karrion Kross, they're rebooting his character again. He's talking about this place being recycled, and we're at the threshold. He's back to being mumbo jumbo. Every time they rejigger this thing, his promos get more and more silly. Apparently, they're going to introduce somebody else in this angle as well. It's been a year, man. Well, it's probably been 2 years at this point since Karrion Kross has been back. He does not work on pay-per-view. He has not been doing anything, and they just keep doing these vignettes trying to Veer Mahan is coming to Karrion Kross, and it's not working. Just do. Stop talking. Just do. They did a great vignette for Bayley when she talked about having the foresight to create Damage Control and wanted Damage Control to be the greatest faction in WWE history, the most dominant female faction ever. Said that she knew that Io was special from the beginning. Now Io is the most dominant champion in WWE. No one is ready for the Kabuki Warriors, who are going to be the tag team champions, and she is going to win the Royal Rumble and defeat Rhea Ripley to be the women's world champion. Damage Control will have all of the gold, and the Kabuki Warriors say that nobody is ready for Damage Control. Truly a great promo. The lead into it was the announcement that Charlotte was going to be out for injury. So they basically piggybacked that with Bayley saying, yes, this is one of the reasons why I formed Damage Control, was to get rid of bums like Charlotte. So, excellent. Very good. So, Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka defeat Mia Yim and Zelina Vega in a tag team match. I like the idea of the Kabuki Warriors. I love them. I love their theme song. It's one of my favorite theme songs in all of wrestling. I love it so much. Mia Yim, Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega trying to do an LWO chant, and everybody just looked at her like, nope. You're 6 months late on that one. Maybe back in May we would have chanted that, but no LWO here. There's no Ray, no LWO. Matter of fact, where is Carlito? Is Carlito still working there? Is he injured? Is he alive? Can we get proof of life, please? Do we have his apples? Where is he? I'm looking for him. Where did he go? Carlito just vanished into thin air. He was supposed to work a match. What was this, 3 weeks ago? He did not work that match and then didn't show up anymore. Very unfortunate. Triple H has got too much to juggle. Maybe he needs to slow down and slow it down and try to figure out what's going on, because he got a lot of talent that he's not really using, and there's some storylines that are not being furthered, which is why I'm kind of a little dismayed by the Karrion Kross thing, because it's not like they actually mean it. You don't actually mean anything with these vignettes that you're doing with Karrion Kross. You're just doing vignettes. Dragon Lee will be defending the North American title on SmackDown. He's going to be wrestling Butch, because of all the people on the roster who deserve an opportunity, Pete Dunne is the one who's going to get it. I mean, not Cameron Grimes, not somebody else who, hasn't been on TV recently, but Butch. Lord have mercy. He's going to force feed us these NXT UK and these NXT talents, whether we want them or not. God, I feel like my mom, when she's trying to give me asparagus, scratch that, that's a lie. My mom has never eaten asparagus in her life. What was a vegetable to my mom? Okra. That's the one. My mom always ate okra. She always tried to get me to eat okra. I was like, nah, I'm not going to eat that. It's slimy and gross. That's the only vegetable she's ever tried to get me to eat that I would not eat. Now it's me trying to get her to eat vegetables and she won't eat them. So it's an interesting thing that they got going here, where they're trying to force feed us these garbage ass wrestlers that nobody wants to see. But the future of Damage Control is very interesting. I like the idea of the Kabuki Warriors being the tag team champions and EO being the WWE Women's Champion, and Bayley saying, yes, I got to win the Royal Rumble so I can beat Rhea Ripley and we're going to have all the gold, which always sounds great, but of course that's not going to happen. I love the Randy Orton, Roman Reigns stuff. I'm very intrigued by the AJ Styles stuff. So SmackDown still producing quality wrestling, not a lot of matches, 4 matches on the show. They give a lot of time to the matches, but they also give a lot of time to their stories to let them build. Only problem I have is they have guys disappear too much. And Carlito has been gone for weeks with no build up and not even touching on the story. So how could it be anything except get cold? Even with Santos Escobar not coming out there cutting a promo or anything, it's problematic, But overall, good episode of SmackDown. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Was not bored. Didn't fall asleep on it. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.